Joey P, man, with stats in hand, spilling numbers like grains of sand. Fantasy talking about diamond dreams, chasing players, whispering their schemes. The Welsh breaking it down real slow, voices howling in the radio's glow. Talking monsters on the baseball field, wizards swinging bats and magic shields. Fantasy baseball in the night, podcasters giving us that sight. Question marks and stars collide, dreams of glory never hide.
Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe P's Pia. With me, of course, is the Welsh, and it's all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, here on our Twitch, twitch.tv/fantasypros. That's where you can watch us live Monday through Friday, and you better start watching now, because football season's around the corner. We're going to be doing football content here on the Twitch channel. But, of course, if you ever miss us live, you can always watch us on the YouTube, Fantasy Pros MLB. That's a channel to subscribe to. Welsh, what a wacky weekend of baseball. Saturday, one of the worst pitching days I've ever seen in my entire life. We've got more injuries, unfortunately, to talk about, but we're going to start the show today with something very exciting. Christmas came early.
Oh,
and I'm frozen. I'm frozen on Christmas. Am I back?
you were so excited. You're back. You were so excited. You were just about to do it, and he's gone. Get to the back of the line. You have to restart that segment. All right, redo it because you were so excited.
I feel like it's kind of...
Come on, take past. 2. Slate. We're going to slate it. Hold on. We're slating it.
All right.
Joe Pisapia, Jac Caglianone, Major League debut. Take 2.
And Welsh, I'm so excited because Jac Caglianone is coming up. That's right, baby. The Royals prospect Jac Caglianone is coming up from AAA, 22 years young. He's been absolutely incredible in AA, in AAA. 322, 389, 593 combined slash, 15 homers and 56 RBIs, 2 steals, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah, so what? He's got 46 strikeouts. I don't care. So does everybody else in Major League Baseball. At least give me some home runs. This is great news for fantasy. Great news for the Royals. This is great news for America that Jac Caglianone is now up with the Royals, and way sooner than we even anticipated. We thought maybe in the next week or 2, more like 2. But Welsh, I'm very excited. Nice job by the Royals, who, look, let's be honest, they're desperate for some outfield productivity, and that's where he's been playing. So you're also going to get dual eligibility with him pretty soon at some point, where he's going to play first base and outfield in your fantasy leagues.
Yeah, it's everything that we wanted. I mean, from a hyped fantasy standpoint, it's like this is a guy with absolutely tremendous power. It is A+. I mean, you put him in the home run derby tomorrow, and he's going to probably light up some stuff. He's got a bad whiff rate, and that's going to be the thing to watch. I don't think this is quite Jordan Lawler-esque, where Lawler, it's like he's hitting, but he's got this secondary breaking pitch issue, and they got exploited. He's got a lot of plate coverage, Caglianone does. He mashes baseballs. He just chases a bit, so we're going to see which direction it goes, but this is absolute major league power. This is what we had been kind of selling and talking about, and we had, I know Van Rod tweeted out, thanking Fantasy Pros for, as we talked a lot about Cags. And, when we do the prospecting segment, sometimes we go back to the names that warrant it, and we kind of come back to give you updates. And we did that multiple times with Caglianone. And I think it was about a month ago, I said I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped from AA. And then a couple weeks ago, we started talking about that this was the right move to do because Super 2s are close. We were talking about this off air. It's like it could be in a couple days, and maybe they're going to benefit from this, but the Royals said, screw it. This is a bat that can help us now. They need an offensive surge. And then the fantasy idea of this is going to be the big question of, like, what do people do? And the answer is probably just yes. Like, whatever you're asking, if Caglianone is out there, yes. But he's probably not because this isn't just
87% of leagues already.
Well, dude, this isn't even just like Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz was very exciting in our world. Cags expands that. This is one of those bigger than life type of prospects. I don't know if you saw this as well. Patrick Mahomes last night did a tweet with the office where it's happening. Like, he quote tweeted Jeff Passan doing this, saying this is going on. The number 1 quarterback in the NFL is excited about a prospect. Obviously, he follows the Royals and stuff. So there's a big look at this and we're all going to be locked into it. But yeah, the answer is yes. Expect maybe some potential strikeout issues and batting average stuff, but also like, don't be surprised when he rocks 470, and don't be surprised when a pitcher tries to challenge. So like, oh, we don't care about this kid. And you get some pitcher that's going to try to challenge him with a heater, and Jac Caglianone drops it in his first or second game. So there are high hopes for Caglianone, and hopefully people have got him.
He was my favorite prospect in last year's draft. And you go back and watch the show we did last season on the MLB draft, which it's funny. I mean, how impactful was that show looking back on it in less than a year ago? We did a full breakdown and we already saw Cam Smith, right? We've already seen Caglianone. We've seen Kurtz. I mean, it's wild. Like the pathway has been so quick for that class. And I thought it was a terrific class, and I'm not surprised at all. Now, before we get to more depressing news, I want to get to something else positive, which, well, it's June, which means we're giving away our Jose Ramirez jersey as promised. So congratulations to Positive Grouch. Yes, it pays to be positive, apparently. Grouch understood the assignment. Grouch subscribed to the YouTube channel, dropped the comments below, and also rang the bell till it goes ding. And now the Grouch, Positive Grouch, is now going to possess the Jose Ramirez signed Guardians jersey. So Grouch, hit us up at mailbag@fantasypros.com with your mailing address, proof of subscription to FantasyPros.
Grouch is in the chat.
Oh, Grouch is in the chat. Oh, what a beautiful time. Well, Grouch, go hit us up, mailbag@fantasypros.com. That's where you get the where's Positive Grouch? There it is. Woo!
Don't put in the other one. Don't put the other comment he put up there. He's very excited.
Yes, I can't put the other. I'm glad I did not put that other one, but I'm glad that kind of positivity is what we need today, considering the next thing we're going to talk about. But when one giveaway goes away, another one takes its place. Next giveaway up, this is cool. This is another retro one. Cecil Fielder jersey from Pristine Auction. And look at this. It's the old school, cool alternate blue one. I love this old Tiger jersey. So cool. So this is not Prince Fielder. This is Big Daddy Cecil Fielder, who went to Japan and came back and hit 51 home runs one year and blew my mind as a kid because nobody was hitting 50 home runs when I was born in the 80s. And look at this. Look at this jersey from Pristine
Cecil does have a amazing autograph. I just want to point out,
very
like,
cool. I can see it in there.
It's a very pretty, good looking autograph. Like, not everybody's got that.
Good looking man. He's a big boy. He's a good looking man. And we're giving away this jersey right here. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop your comments below. And be like Positive Grouch.
Joey, do you realize that guy that you just looked at, his jersey, he has a grandson in professional baseball? I know. Just want to point that out.
I don't care. Corbin Burnes, let's point that out. MRI coming through today. I think he went at 5 in the morning, probably your time, so it's already happened. So we'll see whenever we get the results. But it wasn't good. Corbin Burnes said his elbow felt dead. It's not going to be a minimum stay on the IL. I can promise you that much. I fear the worst, as we usually do with these things, but I'm trying to look for an alternate span here. So if Corbin Burnes, let's say worst case scenario, Gowan has been terrible. Lawler might start to have value again. I'll tell you why. Why wouldn't a team want to go after a Suarez or another piece potentially from the Diamondbacks, and maybe that would open up a pathway for Lawler again? Could you see the Diamondbacks, if the Burnes news is negative, making some moves and saying, you know what, not this year, not with the pitching staff we have, and obviously it's going to be a while. If it's a Tommy John or something like that, you wouldn't get Burnes back for quite some time. So maybe a retool and getting some pitching depth back would be the way to go. And they've got some pieces to move that a lot of contending teams would like.
I 100% think, regardless of what happens with Burnes, the Diamondbacks are in a phase right now where they've got to start looking at trading away. Like there's only 2 moves, and they involve trades. You've got to make a desperation move to trade in and fix this team, or you're going to start trading out because they've got a lot of guys that are on final year contracts. Zac Gallen would be an easy sell if he can ever pitch well. Suarez, maybe they look at Lourdes, Randall Grichuk. They've got guys. And then bullpen pieces, Shelby Miller. They've got players that they could trade. They would actually probably become one of the best trade teams, trade partners for anybody in MLB because they've got something across the board, and it could make Lawler out there. We'll have to see with Burnes. We haven't gotten the MRI results yet. He had it at 5 in the morning. He said he didn't feel a pop or hear a pop, I think was the word. Let me see what it was. He said there was no popping sensation, but the look on his face, he instantly knew. He said elbow, and he looked defeated, looked kind of sad. He couldn't go anymore. He knew something was wrong. I'm hoping without the popping sensation, this is not a Tommy John, but it does feel like regardless, like the good news is going to be that this isn't like a season ender, but that also could be he's out until after the All-Star break. And I think that would be the
injury, and that would be the equivalent.
That would be the definition of like them having to just retool this roster. I mean, Ryan Nelson could go in the rotation. Ryan Nelson's actually the sneaky guy we should talk about if he goes back in the rotation, because Eduardo Rodriguez is coming back pretty soon. I got some video on him if you guys want to see him he gave up 3 homers and balked in a 4th run against complex rookie ball White Sox players. It was not good. But Ryan Nelson could have some fantasy value. And then if the Diamondbacks start trading, Jordan Lawler would have some value. Probably all contingent, by the way, on like Torey Lovello going away because he can't make the right decisions. But yeah, Diamondbacks are close to selling. You should be very fearful of the Corbin Burnes owner, but fingers crossed.
Yeah, I would. You can cross your fingers and your toes. I think we all know it's going to be a lengthy absence at the very minimum. And look, it's Grouch's birthday month, so look at that.
Wow,
we didn't even know that. Just boom, it's random.
My mom's birthday today, by the way. Shout out to my mom and happy birthday.
Oh, yay! Happy birthday, Mama
Today.
Welsh. We love
Mama
and
Welsh.
You know, Welsh before the show was a little skeptical of the excitement level for the Cecil Fielder jersey. I was excited. I was way more excited than the Nico Horner jersey. I want a Cecil Fielder. Look at the comments in the chat were great. The Cecil Fielder, Yankee legend, size 4XL. There's so many comments in here about the Cecil Fielder jersey. Everybody's excited about this. It's made of a recycled circus tent. I thought that he was a big boy. Like, I don't think he was that big, but he was a healthy
Wear it
man.
as a dress. He could wear it as a dress, maybe.
Yes, and happy birthday to Mama
fine.
Welsh all across there. All right, let's get to more depressing pitching news. Nate Eovaldi went on the 15-day IL. Not surprising, triceps fatigue. He was saying how, we're going to skip the start and see how it goes. Well, it's going to go to the IL. So judge accordingly. This is not good for the Rangers, a team that...
Good thing they got Jack Leiter. Good thing they got Jack Leiter, Joe, to just kind of keep holding.
On his way back, yeah. Garrett Crochet was really good yesterday. Fan 12 yesterday. Gave up just 1 run in 7 innings against the Braves. Cal Raleigh also just tremendous. I mean, how fantastic has Cal Raleigh been this year, Welsh? I mean,
it's crazy.
Leading the league in home runs, right? He's right up there. Is it 22 now he's at, or 23? I got
23. It was just 20. I think he's on pace to like hit 60 something, and I think the lead was 41 or 43 by Salvador Perez. So he's got a legit shot to hit the most homers ever by a catcher in a season if he keeps pace.
I've got fun facts. You ready for some fun facts on Cal Raleigh? This year, he has homered from both sides of the plate in a game. He has homered from the left side in a game. Homered twice from the left side of the batter's box in a game. Homered twice from the right side. And he's the first catcher in Major League Baseball history to do all 3 of those things in the same year. That's pretty cool. That's a fun stat right there. You like that stat nugget?
He's the first catcher or player to do.
First catcher to ever hit 2 home runs in a game from the left side, from the right side, and what was the other one? I just closed it.
Do it both in a game?
Something like that. Yeah, from both sides of the plate in the same game. So, I mean, Cal Raleigh just crushing life.
And to have a nickname about his giant butt.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's any other catchers with giant butt nicknames.
Yeah. Wonky Penguin says, I have no idea why I'm away from drafting Cal Raleigh since he's been my favorite catcher for 3 years. Well, that's on you, Wonky. I don't know, what the
I wasn't super interested in him either. It's just like the thing we're going to have to come to terms with, and that'll be like an off-season thing, is just don't get like batting average as much as we want to get it. It kind of drives us sometimes. And like Kyle Raleigh, Shea Langoliers, like the guys you look and you're like, wow, Adley and Will Smith, they can hit for average, blah, blah, blah. And then you just kind of discount a guy that, is in that 230 range. But I mean, they all kind of tinker down, I mean, how many are hitting over 300 right now? Will Smith? Yeah. There's not many capable catchers, especially starting catchers that are there. And I mean, I guess you have to.
Absurd.
Yeah. You have to like future project.
He was kind of the same ADP as Sal Perez, right? Roughly.
Yeah. I think he was even maybe a little behind. He was behind him.
Yeah. Oh, look how different those 2 seasons have gone year to date so far.
Yeah.
For
No
those
kidding.
2 guys. Speaking of the Royals, look at that transition. Kris Bubic, terrific again on Sunday. 9 strikeouts, 7 innings. He continues to be great. Jacob deGrom, all eyes were on him after the finger issue he had last time. 1 run, 6 innings, only a couple strikeouts though. So we'll keep that, just keeping an eye on it. I'm not saying good or bad. I'm saying he made the start. That's good. I don't know if anybody was hotter this week or even over the weekend than Junior Caminero. 2 more homers. His OPS has jumped from 682 to 803 over that span. So he has had a terrific stretch here. The ballpark is going to continue to help him. Welsh, for those of us like myself who practice patience with Junior Caminero, it has certainly been rewarded over the last 10 days.
Yeah, and he's going to press that top 5 third baseman. I mean, I guess if you go, it would be, you got Devers, you've got Machado, you've obviously got Ramirez. If you Riley is in there, and then like who after those 4, who am I missing? Like I guess Jazz is going to be at third base. Like he's in that range.
Jazz
he's in that tier.
Significant time.
Like, yeah, but I'm just saying he's back. He's like going to be back in like a day or two.
Jose Ramirez, Machado, right? So that's in terms of like right. You Devers. Well, he won't qualify at third base after this year.
Yeah, but we're talking this year.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be shocked if he went past Suarez at the end of the day.
Like, not Suarez. No, I completely agree. But I mean, yeah, I forget Vlad like qualifies on like what is it?
Hey man,
or Yahoo or
Junior's
whatever.
got 13 bombs right now. Just looking at the stats, he's got 13 homers, 37 RBI. Vlad's only got 8 and 28.
Are you going to take Junior over Vlad?
I'm just saying it would not shock me if Junior had better stats than Vlad when all is said and done. Now Vlad's got a better batting average, most likely. But, yeah, and Austin Riley right now too. 10 homers, 33 RBI. I mean, this week was so monstrous that he kind of caught up to the pack.
I think that's maybe the more important thing to get focused on is just like Caminero is now in that grouping. And that was kind of the projecting of being so high on him. You know, there was a period of time in the draft season where I was the highest on Caminero. And then we had like a collective that kind of jumped in and had him in that 60, 70 range. He had his negatives. Remember the guy, by the way? Where's the guy that came and blamed me for ruining his fantasy season for forcing him to draft Junior Caminero? Things are looking a little bit better.
I haven't seen them at all. I'm going to take an L guess on Mark Vientos. Of course I am, Whips. He's been terrible. And it's not like I don't have him in leagues. And I'm struggle bus with to cut him because I'm just concerned with what's going on with Beatty. So, yeah, a huge L on Vientos. You know what? I think he might have been, at the end of the day, unfortunately, one of these guys that really started to believe his own hype. I don't know if he put the work in the offseason. I think he looked like he was like, hey, I've established myself. I'm the man right now. He had a great regular season. He had a terrific postseason. And I saw him out there taking a lot of photos and doing a lot of ops and doing a lot of stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, hopefully the kid's enjoying himself, but I hope he's putting the work in. And maybe he just didn't put the work in this year. And now his job is kind of teetering on the brink. I want to talk about Saturday. Because Saturday was one of the absolute worst days I've ever seen for pitching implosions collectively. We've been doing this a long time. I don't know if I've ever seen a worse one. I got up on Sunday morning and I started looking around going, what? Who gave up what? How? So here's some of the awful ones. Jesus Luzardo, 12 earned runs where his manager just left him out there to die. Will Warren and Robbie Ray gave up 7 earned runs, and Brendan Pfaadt did not get a single out and gave up 8 earned runs. So which to you was the quintessential implosion, the best of the worst for you?
That's super easy. It would be Brandon Pfaadt. Okay, somebody, I'm not taking credit for this because somebody else wrote, but I don't remember who did it. So just credit given to them if you see it. But someone said that Brandon Pfaadt threw the first yes hitter because all he did was give up yes hits across. He didn't get a single out. He registered 0 outs. Really the funny. First yes hitter in baseball.
I'd rather give up a yes hitter. I think that.
Yeah, it could be yes. Someone also did post. It might have been like Eric Cross or something that was like, someone out there had 2 of these 3, and I saw someone post that they had all 3 of Will Warren, Pfaadt, and Luzardo in their lineup. And it was a points league, and each one of them scored at least negative 24 points. That guy got like negative 70 plus points just from those 3 players. I've never seen anything like it. But
the worst part is it was not like there was a warning sign. Will Warren,
Brandon Pfaadt there was.
Brandon Pfaadt there was. Absolutely, Brandon Pfaadt. You have to own that one if you started Brandon Pfaadt.
Yeah, 6
so Will Warren had been great over his last 4 or 5 starts. Robbie Ray had been terrific, and Jesus Luzardo was like top 5 in Cy Young. There's no way you were sitting probably any 3 of those guys. The Brandon Pfaadt one, that's one of the, you break it, you buy it, you know what's going on. But,
yeah, I don't think it's like, you learned a lesson from starting Brandon Pfaadt. It's just that, like, we talked about him on the trade video. He had an expected over 6 ERA. There were a lot of numbers that were already telling you, like, hey, regression's in the future. Unfortunately, regression can smack you in the face when you're not looking. And sometimes it doesn't even, there aren't massive warning signs like that. Like the Luzardo one, he'd just been unhittable all season. There's a little part of you that's like, do you expect him to continue at this level? No, but do you also expect him to give up 12 earned runs in a game? No, it happens. And for whatever reason, it happened collectively just to end out May, just to ruin everybody's end of May. That happened. Negative 70 points. That's crazy.
Let's talk a little rookie lookie. Cole Young, 1 for 4 with an RBI. So 21-year-old shortstop, now second baseman, came up. And if only there was a program talking about him last week, you might have been able to get even ahead of that curve. So were you surprised that Cole Young got called up so quickly there? And what should we expect from fantasy out of him in the weeks ahead?
No, I mean, remember you were like, oh, I don't know when he'll come up. And I'm like, hey, look out. There's some rumors floating around that he might be coming up. He had hit really well in the minors, and they just kind of had that hole there. So I don't think I predicted he would come up Friday or anything like that, but I thought it was in the very near future. And then he came up like that day or the next day.
It was crazy how fast it happened.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff about Cole. Cole Young's a type of hitter. He won't start there, but he could hit at the top of the order, makes a lot of contact. Seattle's going to temper and taper down some of his offensive stats on like where he could hit homers. He could steal some bases. I think it's going to be a little bit more real life. I've always thought Cole Young might be a little bit more real life than anything else, where he's going to just make a lot of contact. He's not like Jacob Wilson or anything like that, but the counting stats, we'll have to see where they go, but he could steal some bases. He's probably a 15-team league middle infielder. If you're desperate in a 12 and you don't have anything else, like why not take a shot at Cole Young right now? Because he should go the rest of the season, but it was really nice to see him up.
Marcelo Mayer or Cole Young?
Ooh, I will go with Marcelo Mayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give people like a gauge on
better hitting environment, has a chance to probably, I don't know, Cole Young could hit high, but I think I'll take Marcelo.
Because I kind of see them in that similar vein, people looking at them, and saying, okay, which one do I like more?
They might be
Cole
close. Yeah, they might be kind of close.
They might be this year. Mick Abel is going to be back again, starting against the Blue Jays, so another spot start for him. And that's the rookie lookie for today. But that's not the only rookies we're talking about. We already talked about Jac Caglianone. We just talked a little about Cole Young. And now it's time to talk about some more rookies, because it's time for Prospecting with the Welsh. That's right. It's time to dig deep for the names in the minor leagues that are going to make an impact in your fantasy league soon. So, Welsh, let's kick things off here with quick hits on the big names. Let's start with Roman Anthony. The Red Sox are dying right now for some help. They are absolutely hoping to get some offense, just something at some point. The Red Sox are just kind of looking at each other. People are talking about Cora swinging for this. I don't think that's going to happen, but I know we're going to talk about Crawford and a couple other guys too, but I want to talk about Roman Anthony first real quick.
Yeah, we got a couple quick hitters at the top is what we'll actually do. We'll go quick hitters, and then we'll talk about 3 prospects that deserve a little bit more attention. Roman Anthony, just as I said this earlier in the show, just kind of come back to it. The Super 2 date is sometime this week. So at the end of this week or next week is a timeline for any player that is being manipulated on playing time. It kind of feels like Roman Anthony is that. I think they brought up like Nate Eaton or something from AAA. Like they had an opportunity to bring up someone in the outfield. They didn't. Roman Anthony is coming off of a month where he just hit over 300, hit 317. He had hits in 6 of his last 7 games. He's got his batting average over 300. He's got a 3.46 slash right now. Roman Anthony is going to be up. Manipulation is telling us him. And then obviously, if I can even just jump into Bubba Chandler, they're the 2 most obvious. And we actually said Bubba and Roman Anthony with Cags were the top 3 to look at. And we joked, what if Cags beat them all? Well, he did. He did beat them all. So we've got Bubba and Roman Anthony, who I think are on manipulation watch. And Roman Anthony has done amazing. Bubba Chandler just had another start where he struck out 8. He's going deeper into games. This has got to be at the end of the week. So we only talk about it and not like we want to, kill everybody's brain every single week about it. But both of these guys have not only been fantastic, not only are they the number 1 hitting and pitching prospects to kind of bank on, but also the manipulation time looks like it's coming to a close in the next couple days. So these guys could actually be coming up here in the very near future. Both of them.
All right. So Bubba Chandler, Roman Anthony. Let's talk Ian Seymour for a second too, because Ian Seymour is a guy that I've been holding on to in my home league for a while. And Littell just had another decent outing, which I think against all odds and everybody who's waiting on Ian Seymour. I know Boz has had some struggles this year. So what's the path for Ian Seymour right now look like? Because I think that's the question. It's not a matter of is he ready, because when you look at the strikeout rate, it's been fantastic, and you look at what he's done so far this year, he is completely, I think, over the last year and a half, taken that next step forward that he need to. And I know he's not like a 23-year-old pitching prospect. He's a little bit older there, but it seems like there's nothing left for him to prove at AAA. So how does he get up to the major leagues as a starting pitcher this year?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to have to be a move. I mean, this is only meant to be an update with Ian Seymour, but like, there's going to have to be some battle the Rays are going to have to come to terms with, where maybe you're going to have phantom ILs on a player that's been struggling. Maybe there's an injury coming in. Only reason is because Ian Seymour is leading AAA in strikeouts. He's got the highest swinging strike rate. You find a stat, K minus walk percentage. He's at the tippy top. He is absolutely capped out at AAA, and he's going to get an opportunity soon. And there's a lot of swing and miss stuff in that game that, he's not as sexy as a lot of these other guys. We've obviously talked about, Jacob Mizorowski before, and we had talked about Mick Abel. He's going to be a guy that's going to sneak in, pop up, and I think it should be in the very near future, because there's very little being learned from AAA. I think they would actually benefit from getting him into a major league start to see what's happening. So be on the lookout for Ian Seymour very shortly.
All right, that's exciting news, because I just keep looking at every start to start with him, and everything's been great. Ratios are terrific. It's just, what are we doing here? And I know that the rotation's been okay. I'm with you. I want to see what he can do at the major league level, because I think he might be better than at least 2 of the 5 guys that they've got currently going, theoretically. All right, let's talk about some of the theoretically. Let's talk about Justin Crawford, literally, for a moment, if we can. So Crawford is a player that we've discussed before. Philadelphia Phillies outfielder. So what's got you paying attention to him recently?
Well, he's absolutely dominated AAA. 49 games so far this year. He's hitting .338. This is Carl Crawford's kid, of course, if people don't pay attention to that. Still only 21 years old, so he's very young for the level. And I think that's maybe the important thing too, is this is not just, yes, he's been, moved through the organizations. He's been with them a couple years, but he's able over the last 3 years to move all the way up to AAA as a 21-year-old, dominating at an incredible rate. .338 average with over 400 OBP. He's not a big slugger, though. He's got 1 homer, but he has 20 stolen bases. But I just also wanted to point out, I'm firmly impressed with what he's doing in his hitting profile. So 42% hard hit rate is actually pretty impressive for him, with a 110 max EV and an average EV in AAA of almost 91. That's showing some power potential. But he's got a really low launch angle. It's around 2 degrees. So he's going to have to learn to get the ball in the air if there is going to be future power. But there might be future power. And the most impressive that goes along with the strikeouts, guy's got an over 90% zone contact rate, which is absolutely absurd. Doesn't also strike out. For 8% swinging strike rate, which is absolutely crazy. There's just such a good profile. He's a good defender. I think we could see him very, very soon in Philadelphia.
All right, let's move to Ryan Ritter for a moment, Welsh. Again, we're trying to go through the prospects, trying to find out where they might be landing here. For Ritter, we're looking at a guy currently, infielder, right? So obviously the Colorado Rockies certainly are a team that are going to be sellers. The question is, how much do they have that other teams want? I've heard some rumblings about Ryan McMahon being a guy potentially. So right now, Ritter is a shortstop playing in over the Colorado system. He's got 199 at-bats, 16 home runs so far this year. That's a lot of power for this young man. 307 batting average, 416 OPS, a 1059 OPS overall. So let's talk about Ritter for a moment. Age 24, could we be seeing him this season potentially?
Yeah, that's the play. The 16 homers, by the way, in AAA are the second most in AAA. So, I mean, the power output, and his minor league affiliate's not in Colorado. It's in Albuquerque, just as a point out. But this is another one of those guys, not striking out a lot, walking a ton, 20% K percentage, 14% walk rate, massive power. He's got a 3.46 slash right now. There is obviously openings on this team as they're going to start selling off pieces. Ryan Ritter is going to be a force that we're going to see in the second half. We hope, obviously that the home ballpark is going to benefit him even a little bit more. But, some of the underlying stuff is pretty decent. Big launch angle, 110 max EV. He's got, surprisingly, he actually has a lower average exit velocity than Justin Crawford, I just want to point out. Hard hit rate's okay, but he's just hitting the ball really well. He gets it in the air, kind of optimizes. He's one of those optimized guys. And you're not going to take a knock, because hitting in like the PCL just inflates stuff. But you're going to go to Colorado where it like inflate stuff, so he really has the potential for his offensive profile to kind of keep ticking up. He's an interesting name that's not on a lot of people's radars, should be up in the very near future, and probably holds the gig through the rest of the year.
All right, let's talk about a pitcher from the AAA system of the Guardians right now, and it's Parker Messick. He is 3-1 right now over 10 starts, 2.64 ERA, 47 innings. He has 62 strikeouts. He does have 24 walks, so the walk rate a little higher than you want it to be. The whip is at 1.24. We do have Shane Bieber working his way back already, so that's another piece that's coming back to that Guardians rotation. Does that make the path more difficult for Parker Messick, or do you think that the Guardians are going to lose patience with the Slade Chaconi's of the world and possibly give him a start before we even see Bieber ready and healthy to make one?
Well, the one thing we found out, because Bieber pitched out here on Saturday, they're already moving him up to AA, and he pitched like 2 in the third inning, I think it was, on Saturday, and it was like 40 pitches, which is a little aggressive. He's already going to go up to AA. So he's going to be up sooner rather than later. But Parker Messick should be one of the next guys that gets a look. That's kind of the major point here. He's almost got 50 innings in AAA so far, and almost 12 K per 9, a 2.64 ERA, which is definitely something to pay attention to. And he's got some good swing and miss stuff. I mean, 14% swinging strike rate, I think, has got a little bit uptick. That's what he's doing up in AAA. He's not a big, crazy, power fastball type of guy, but he's got a decent repertoire of pitches, really good changeup. And I think they're going to give him a look here in the near future. So yeah, Bieber could hold him back, but if you're looking for speculation, you could definitely speculate on Parker Messick, especially if there's when he's called up, if it's a subpar matchup, I'd probably put him in there regardless of some of the walk issues.
All right, so Crawford, Ryan Ritter, Parker Messick, those are guys to watch on the prospect realm right now. And of course, for more prospect information, you could always go to FantasyPros.com. Check out Welsh's work over there. And that, my friends, is Prospecting with the Welsh for this week in Major League Baseball. Follow us on our YouTube channel, Fantasy Pros MLB. All right, let's get to some more fun facts here, Welsh. Christian Campbell, AL Rookie of the Month in April. Here was the slash in April for Christian Campbell. 301, 407, 495. In May, it was not as good. A 134, 184, 171 month of May. Welsh, will the real Christian Campbell please stand up? Who is he?
I wish he would. My Rookie of the Year bet is dying a slow, painful death for Christian Campbell. Jacob Wilson just continues to hold it. But, I think Bubba did this, I think it was on something else. But you definitely have a Jim Ross thing in there. Go, my God, is that Jac Caglianone? Caglianone just steps into the room with both of these guys that maybe don't have a stranglehold on the AL Rookie of the Year. What's the real version of Christian Campbell? I got to be honest with you. I think it's closer to the first month one. I don't think he's a sub 200 hitter. I think he's a really solidly polished hitter, and he can do a little bit of everything. Maybe the moving around position stuff is getting to his head. Also, the league just adjusts. I'm really hopeful that he's going to readjust, but in redraft 12 teams, you've probably had an easy path to move off of him if you need to.
It's funny, we were just talking about that too, when you mentioned the Rookie of the Year stuff. I didn't even see what Cags' number was today.
Probably jumped like crazy today.
Well, it was plus 3,500 yesterday because it was on TV ranting about it. So I'm fascinated to see where it is today. I'm going to actually pull it
I'm going to guess it's like 10-1 now.
I don't think it's that much. I'm going to say it's 25. I don't think it moved that much overnight. I really don't. I'm
going to say 10-1.
Especially that one. It's, those are a little bit more conservative.
Pull it up.
12
to
to
it.
1.
I was close. I was close.
So there you go. So I wish I bet it at 35, but instead I'm just going to have to bet it here.
He's still got to do a lot to be able to pull that down over.
Sure.
I mean, Jacob Wilson, a rookie hitting 350 or whatever the hell he's hitting. It's going to take a lot.
The thing is, if Jacob Wilson hits, let's say 300 when all said and done, right? Corrects a little bit. And Caglianone hits 20 home runs over the last 90 games of the season or whatever we got left here, and the Royals make the playoffs, that's the story.
Oh, there's a possibility, sure.
He's the narrative. There's no doubt about that. He is absolutely the narrative. Bet made, by the way. So let's go. Let's go 3 up and 3 down. Ryan Yarbrough. Welsh, I was expecting him to shoot up ridiculously. He was like 15% rostered this weekend. He's only up to 31% rostered in CBS. I don't know what are people doing? All these
Well, just nobody
starts
believes in him. We've been talking about him.
But at this point, I don't care if you believe in him or not. He's producing. People are still running Sandy Alcantara out there, and Ryan Yarbrough still out there. 4 hits, 6 innings, 1 run baseball against the Dodgers, for God's sakes. Jose Ramirez 2 for 4. We just gave his jersey away, and he gave away another home run. And Xavier Edwards 5 for 5. More Xavier Edwards on the show later today for paying attention. Yoshinobu Yamamoto in the downs, hit hard against the Yankees. Great weekend for home runs from Ohtani and Judge, though. So if you had them, I can't wait to see what the board looks like after this weekend. My goodness, I only got 1 home run. Welsh, did you get one over the weekend?
I have no idea. I don't think I got one. Probably off of it.
I got one stinking home run for Alonso. And we're watching Judge and Ohtani hit bombs all over the place. So angry.
I know.
Andres Munoz. Ever since Welsh said Andres Munoz is the best closer in baseball, he has had consecutive blown saves. I'm just putting that out there. So just putting it in.
I said it preseason, but yeah, I shouldn't have reiterated it. So I cursed him.
I kid.
And
Kyle Stowers 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Let's get to the injuries. A lot of them. Kyle Tucker, x-rays on the hand came back negative. We'll see how he goes. Miguel Andujar likely going to the IL. So would we see Blade back up then in that transaction?
I definitely think there's a possibility because Andujar, I guess he was in the outfield. They could go to Colby Thomas. Be on the lookout for that if they're just
that would
done.
Be insulting, wouldn't it?
I do think that would kind of put a final a nail in the coffin for JJ Bleday that oh yeah, they're really just going to go to all. But
he's been red hot at AAA. You got to pull him up, right?
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying if they're done with him, then it would be probably Colby Thomas would be the play.
All right, let's continue on here with some more of these injuries. Mookie Betts going to be reevaluated tomorrow, and then you had Luke Weaver said he felt something in the hamstring, so he ended up not coming in. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Devin Williams time.
No, I don't think it is. I think everyone's going to freak out. I don't think
this is how Devin Williams, this is how I win, Adam Sandler. This is how I win. This is how Devin Williams sneaks back in. Luke Weaver misses a little bit of time. He comes in, couple good saves again, and it's done with. Go pick up Devin Williams if he's out there immediately.
I mean, I would still pick up Devin Williams, but I don't think this is it. We'll see. Christian Yelich got hit on the hand. That was pretty bad, but x-rays came back okay for him too. Cole Reagans could potentially be activated Thursday against the Cardinals. Kumar Rocker also slated to potentially start Wednesday against the Rays. And Bryce Harper was still out of the lineup all weekend, so we knew that was a serious one. Other injury news too. Some other things were just floating around too. I just wanted to put it up there. We had, let me find it here, a couple other, okay, here we go. Emmett Sheehan, 3 scoreless innings at AAA. Sean Manaea through live batting practice on Monday. So again, 6-man rotation is probably coming sooner than later. Some other news and notes too that I just saw from some minor league stuff. Jordan Lawler did have a good weekend, a good Sunday as well. Ronnie Mauricio continues to hit as well. I'm just kind of putting that out there for people. I mean, 2 for 4 with a walk, another RBI. He's hitting 500. Oh, I know it's only 9 games. Geez, talk about coming back with some serious, serious hit tool all of a sudden after not playing for a very long time. Brady House, another guy that we had talked about, 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. So there's a lot of buzz. Could we see at some point maybe a flurry after Caglianone, the breaking of the dam, Welsh, for all these prospects potentially this month?
It's not about Caglianone. It's just about Super 2.
But there's a bunch of guys. We talked about Christian Moore. Cole Young is up already. It feels like a big aggressive wave. We don't always have these many prospects, I feel like, that are ready to actually fly. This time I feel like we do. And it's not always like that every year.
The ironic thing though is I think if a lot of guys were brought up really quick, that might affect the Super 2 date because it's also about call-ups and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I get your point. There's a bevy of dudes that seem like they would be ready and capable to come up. I assume a lot of teams were holding down Bubba, especially Bubba and maybe even Christian Moore with the Angels and stuff due to this. Mm-hmm. It's open season is the only thing I'm just trying to say. Is it is open season right now. I'm not sure that just because Cags was brought up, it's more about hey, we have flexibility, or maybe teams know what they have in their roster or don't have on their roster. And now it's time, 50 games in AAA or whatever that these guys are getting. That's a decent sample size to tell you a lot about these players that are close to the majors.
Cags or Christian Walker rest of season. I think of my morbid curiosity is to see what Cags has in the tank. I've had it with Christian Walker. I know that
Yeah.
sounds bad, but
I know there were a lot of Cags questions. I'd say for the most part, it's like, I'm going to just speculate on Cags. You got to understand it might not work out. And, there's so many of these rookies that hurt, we get hurt. We get hurt with these guys. But is Christian Walker in his 212 at this point in the season? This is kind of similar to my Marcus Semien thing. Like, I've been a defender of Marcus Semien, but I'm also trying to come to terms with, like, what am I going to even get when he turns around? What is it going to look like? The same thing applies to Christian Walker at this point. What's that even going to look like, now
Ben
after
Rice,
all this
here's another
time?
one. Like, I'd rather see what Caglianone can do.
That's tough.
I mean, look, Caglianone is a legitimate top 5 overall prospect. Last year was taken 3rd, I think, overall. He was my number 1. Let's see what the number 1 guy. Ben Rice has done a good job, but, like, let's not go crazy here. I do want to go crazy on something, though, because it's that time. It's time for the best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh. And let's start here with Juan Soto against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Don't look now, kids, but Juan Soto's starting to pick things up a little bit. They got hot over the weekend, and I think he could carry that over against the Dodgers tonight. So let's go Juan Soto minus 115 to score a run. That's a pretty good number for a guy like Juan Soto who gets on base at that clip. Usually that number is much more in the negative, but minus 115 is too good to pass up. Also too good to pass up, Logan Webb, 6+ alternate strikeout line, plus 138. I don't think they're giving Logan Webb enough credit how good he's been and how many strikeouts he's had this year. So give me Logan Webb tonight to be the guy to go 6+ in the alternate Ks. You're getting plus money on that, plus 138. And Xavier Edwards, who went 5 for 5, seems locked in at the plate, makes really good contact. He's got a good matchup today against the Colorado Rockies. Just to steal a base, plus 240. So for that speedster, that's a really good return on investment. Those are my best bets of the day. Welsh, what do you have for the people?
Like that Edwards one. It's sneaky because he can walk too and get on base. I'm going to go with Jack Flaherty. Give me Flaherty over 6.5 strikeouts today. That is plus money against the White Sox. White Sox have those moments, but Flaherty, he struck out 8 over his, in each of his last 2 matchups. So I really like this for 7 strikeouts at plus money. Obviously, they are banking on 6 and him ending at 6, but a little bit more efficiency and Flaherty gets there. I'm going to go with the Dodgers run line. That is plus money at plus 124, and that's 1.5 runs. So that's 2 runs. You've got Blackburn on the mound. You got May. I think the Dodgers are kicking it completely up right now, and that's where my bet is. A little counter to Joe. And then we'll go back to a Nerfy, and this is a little bit of a danger Nerfy because it is in Sacramento. I was about to say Oakland, but it is A's and Twins. Love Joe Ryan on the mound. Severino still got a sub-4 ERA. I'm going to bank that they're both going to simmer down these offenses, though that ballpark is very scary and probably why it pushes it up to minus 110. If it were in Minnesota, wouldn't be surprised if this is minus 125. But let's go Nerfy on the A's and the Twins.
All right, don't forget, everybody, go to fantasypros.com/leading off. New customers bet $5 on FanDuel, get $250 in bonus bets if they win. Again, that's only on FanDuel at fantasypros.com/leading off. Let's get to the home run board, see what we got today after the weekend. Oh, Wonky Penguin and Welsh now sequestered to the right side of the graphic.
I didn't get a single homer over those 3 days.
I just got 1. So what was I? I was at 14, I believe. So
You're
now
close.
I'm at 15. So I am 2 away. George is at 27, really extending that lead. Far out at 26. Sammy Sosa jersey still up for grabs. And I am going with Shohei Ohtani against the Mets today because, well, I don't see Peterson or Manaea on the mound. And he struggles against those big lefties. Oh, I'm at 15, baby. 15, there it is. That's there. 2 more. 2 more, baby. That's it. Right there. Welsh, we're going for your home run call.
Ohtani's pretty good. I'm also curious, what's the record? What's the all-time home run board record for most in a season? Because it looks
feels like the pace is pretty good here.
I'm only remembering like 40s and stuff like that, but I
want to say it was in the high 40s. I want to say.
Yeah, maybe Wonky knows what the record is.
Could tell us.
Because George at 27 on June 2nd seems like the pace is going quite well. I'm going to go with Elly. I'm going to go Elly today going up against Aaron Savale, who's back rolling. I love Elly to crush a couple. I'm going for 2. Oh, wow. 61 is the number. Wow.
Wow. How great is that, right? What a baseball number, 61 home runs, right?
Both beautiful. 2023 and 24 are home run guessers.
Man. Now, I was told that we've got some fun footage. Can we show the fun footage, Seth? Are we allowed to show the fun footage? Okay. So we're going to go away. We're going to let you enjoy. I believe this is Jac Caglianone finding out that he is getting to the show. So that'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. Enjoy a beautiful baseball moment.
All right, seriously, how do you feel?
Good.
You feel a little tired because you've been doing a lot of stuff.
Like, not bad.
I mean, you've been doing outfield stuff, and you've been taking your ground balls,
Russ has been
everything.
marking me, but it's been good.
So you think you feel like you're at the point where you could help, like, them up there? You think you could?
Yeah.
All right, well, then you can get on the charter tomorrow night and go with them. If they do it.
Holy crap.
So what do you think?
That sounds great.
Just remember, it's still a game. It's baseball.
Yeah.
It's a little higher level, but you know you can play.
Yeah. Shoot, player.
All right, give me a hug.
Oh, yeah. I need to call my dad.
What did you think when I started talking to you?
I mean, I was like, damn, it's probably for hitting my knob against the stair. It's like,
I heard that.
I was like, damn.
I heard that.
But, oh, no way.
Go call your dad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let the fam know.
Congrats.
I don't think you're going to the zoo tomorrow. Okay.
Thank y'all. Oh, boy.
That's a nice, wholesome moment, Welsh. I like it. And all thanks to Rusty.
Kuntz.
Right. See? Thanking Rusty on the way up. That's the way to go. Always thank Rusty on the way up.